bookmail found in an antique shop, found in some second-hand book sale shops, and rescued from the dump. Right. Hey everyone, it's Bethany from Beth and Books and welcome to part 2 of my massive spring book haul. I don't have any makeup on. I'm glad there's no smell-o-vision because I can smell myself. I've just spent my Saturday morning helping the English department at school clear out. We're having a big renovation, which means a bunch of books were going to be thrown out, and I had to pass up so many books, but I kept a little stack, and then I realised that over the past weeks I've managed to accumulate enough books for a part 2 of my book spring haul. I genuinely need to put myself on a book buying ban after this. It is ridiculous, but also it's my money, it's my life, I can do what I want. Before we get into it, special shout out to our new guest joining us. This is Hodgehog, and when I was little I used to read Roald Dahl's books. I'm pretty sure it was his, and there was a hedgehog story who bumped his head and started to call himself a hodgehog. So here we go with some baby's breath. Hopefully I do not kill this plant, but so far she's looking healthy. And welcome to the bunch of new people who have recently subscribed. Let's get not the floor in shot because those bottom shelves are not as static. Right, where do I start? Let's just start with bookmail because I only have one. Trying not to show any addresses. I only have one, and Trade Me hasn't been delivering the goods recently, but also I've just been putting myself on a massive ban, which clearly worked. So here we go. Oh, thank you to the person who wrapped it to look after it. This is All the Places by Jennifer Neven. I'm still a bit unsure how you're meant to enunciate her last name, but I picked this one up for a couple of dollars because I was one of the lucky receivers of her arc called Breathless, and it is so hauntingly beautiful, and it was actually the first book of hers that I read, and I just loved her writing style, so I just wanted to pick up this one. I'm not going to go into the blurbs of all of these just because I'll be here for ages and don't want this to be a hella long video. So here we go. As far as I'm aware, it's like a YA contemporary novel. So that's the book I bought from online. And then that is actually a good segue into the first stack of secondhand books. That being, let me make sure I've got my stacks right here. Yeah, this stack here. So I also found her Holding Up the Universe novel, which I'm also pretty excited about. It's another YA contemporary, but this is to do more with fact shaming, I believe, and how people can come together and change each other for the better. So I'm super excited to have both of her books, and eventually I'm going to actually collect a hard copy of Breathless because that book was terrific. Next up, I feel a bit weird about this. I don't know how you guys feel, but at the secondhand bookshop that I went to, there was a bunch of library books on sale. So I've since peeled off the little genre stickers, but this is one of them. If I open the book up, you can actually see, where is it? There we go. You can actually see the Palmerston North, which is the city I live in, the code there, and it's been cancelled. So I just feel really weird owning a library book. That's not how the system works, but either way, I've got Patrick Ness's Release. I think I might have mentioned this because I hold one of his books in the first half of this spring book haul. But I picked this up because I enjoyed Knife of Never Letting Go, but also Courtney and her books loves his writing style. So I just found it for $1 and picked it up. I then found this edition of The Great Gatsby. It's hardcover, and I just really like it. It's got the gorgeous little green in there, and this is one of the classics I actually really want to read. I remember watching the first half of the film in my English class. Gosh, how old was I? It would have been at least 5 years ago now, and I never know how it ends. I'm pretty sure I've had a spoiler, but my brain is kind of trying to forget it, so I don't fully know how it all wraps up. So either way, here's a gorgeous gorgeous edition of The Great Gatsby with this lovely little gold foiling here. I then picked up Gillian Flynn's Dark Places. I absolutely adored her novel called Gone Girl and just saw her and had to pick her up. My only complaint with this is I'm not the biggest fan of books this size. I don't know how to explain it except I'm just not a fan of them. I do wish it was like, you know, more of a, hang on, that'll spoil the whole. I do prefer books like that size, but you know, tiny gripe. I'm not that annoyed to pass up on a book that I think I'll like for a few dollars. Next one, those of you who watched my mystery box unboxing, and you'll notice that I got like the something 16, and you guys were commenting down below saying, no, it is a series, you should definitely read from the beginning. And I found it. I found the first one on sale. So this is Janet Evanovich's One for the Money. I'm really excited because everyone seemed to have positive things to say about this series, and it's kind of like a spy romance, just fun novel. And I've been reading slowly over the years, going through is it J.D. Robb's, I'll put a picture up here of the book series, slowly going through those, and they're just really good books for if I want to get out of a slump. They're like one sitting reads, trashy, and I mean that in a good way, trashy, fun little books that I breeze through really quick. So I'm hoping that this is one of them. I'm really excited for it. But yes, that's that. Then the last one I got from like that bookshop is this edition of Stephen King's It. Okay, this book seems massive, right? It's got small words, and you've probably seen it in the big volumes. Those books terrify me. I will never be able to pick up one of those books and read it just because I'm so scared of how big it is. But this just looks more manageable. Not to mention, I love the cover. I love the yellow pages, how it just flops open like this. I just love that. It's got the Sue's Book Bazaar stamp. I think I mentioned this in the last video as well. Sorry, I filmed that one like a couple of weeks ago, about how I enjoy picking up second-hand books with a bit of personalisation in them. So this is from Ballarat. I'm going to have to do some Googling to see where that is because I've never heard of it. But it's just, I love the edition. I love the edition, the cracked spine. Oh, I just like it. I've read his Misery and 4 past midnight. And I've given like both books 4 stars, so I want to keep reading some of his books. That is a great segue into the next little selection of books I have here, which I picked up from a different secondhand bookshop, and that is Misery. So this is one I've read, and I borrowed a library copy, and I saw this one, and again, I just love the freaky looking art. Like old Paul there being like tortured. There's old Annie looking like creepy, and again, I think what I'm sucked into with these copies is the Stephen King at the top in big like white silver lettering, and then the red title. It's just classic. I just love it. And again, it's just worn. It flops open. It's got the like yellowy pages. Just, it's my kind of secondhand book. So next up, sorry, just doubting myself here. I picked up Anne of Green Gables. Why? Honestly, I don't know. Is it even on my poster? It's on my poster. It's right on the bottom, so I'm going to say that's my reason. But in reality, I'll be honest, I was just caught up with all these books. They're like $1 or $2 each. And I was just like, oh, I've heard of that. Yes, I'll grab that. So hence why I really need to put myself on a book buying ban, because my TBR bookshelf is out of control. But I saw Anne of Green Gables, and again, I just loved the cover. I was sucked in by it. Just, I can't explain it. Just something about it makes me love it. Also, bonus, look at this. Look at this. Isn't that great? To Melanie. Wishing you a very happy birthday, Marie, Bruce, and I can't quite read that one. Gordon, maybe? I just love this sort of stuff. I don't know. And yeah, it's a classic. I recognise. I picked it up for $1 and it's on my shelves now. Next up, this was another one that was a library book. You can tell by the like shiny ones, they've been laminated. And this is book 1 in a Rick Riordan series. This is The Red Pyramid, as you can clearly tell. I didn't actually realise this was a series until I saw it and looked it up on Goodreads when I was in the op shop. I just love Rick Riordan. I haven't read widely from him. He's an author I really want to read more of. I've read his original series, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and that's actually all I've read. So I'm really underread on his stuff. But I saw this, I was like, you know what, I'll pick it up. And it's one of those books where if I don't like it, which I doubt, but even if I like it and don't want to keep it on my shelves, I feel like it'll be really easy to find someone to pass on to. I've got lots of like second cousins and young cousins on my partner's side of the family, so someone will want it. Next up, I got this for completion's sake. The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. This completes, as far as I'm aware, my Twilight shelf. Shall I quickly peek up? There we go. You can see them all after getting Midnight Sun and all of that stuff. So now I've got it. I've not read it before. I'm really intrigued. I don't know anything about it. Like, is it from a vampire's perspective, a human's perspective, a wolf's perspective? No idea. I'm gonna find out. And then, perhaps the find of this whole haul for me personally, I found The Muse of Nightmares, again it was a library copy, for $2, and I actually audibly squealed. My boyfriend was with me and he was like, oh, what's so exciting? Do you not understand, here in New Zealand, this edition, whenever I've looked, like this, I don't know what you call it, design edition, isn't available over here. They have a different edition. I've never found this. Plus the fact that I've already read the story and it just goes against my wallet to buy a story I've already read full price. So I was like, I'll just wait. I might get it maybe on Book Depository if it comes down on sale, and I think it's worth buying. But now I've got it, so it can join my Strange the Dreamer, because now they're the same edition. Oh, I'm just so happy. Okay, I'm going to put this on my shelf right now. That literally just makes my day. Fits so perfectly. Okay, so carrying on. The next one I have here from an antique store is Water for Elephants. I'm picking this up because I'm going to... it's not really a secret TBR, it's like a little challenge video I'm doing for myself. So I managed to find this secondhand. I picked this edition. There are actually 2 editions available, and this one was $1 more. So I think I actually paid $10 for this. But I went for the one that was $1 more because, seeing if I can show you, there's actually like little stars inlaid on the cover. Oh, there you go, kind of. It just had that little bit of prettiness. So I was pulled in by that. And then I randomly found in that antique shop, The Farm, by Joanne Ramos. And I've heard, if you liked the plot of... oh my gosh, Margaret Atwood's one. Oh my god. I cannot think. This one, I mean, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So I picked this one up. So yes, fun. And then we come to today's salvages, from me literally jumping in a bin, and like a big waste bin, and picking these up because I couldn't... Excuse me, helicopter? I couldn't let them go. Dude. Okay, so first of all from here, I don't know if I'm ever going to read this, but I just could not let it be thrown away. And that is this hunky boy called Great Short Stories of the World. Just look at it, look how old it is. It's got the school I work at in the front. I don't think I'm comfortable sharing that knowledge. I mean, if you know me, then you'll know already, but... It's got, just looking at here, we've got John Steinbeck, Ernest Hemingway, James Joyce, Joseph Conrad, Oscar Wilde, and that's just the first page of the contents, and there's 3 pages of the contents. And I've only just noticed actually, they have the signature, like it's not actually signed, but the signature of each person's short stories. I just couldn't let it go in the bin. I just couldn't. Am I the only one? Would you be the same? Next up, I grabbed Catherine Mansfield's selected short stories. This one I picked up because I just genuinely actually want to read them. And just like, look at this. Let me just make sure I'm covering up the school title. Oh, just under there, you can see this person called Stephanie Prince issued this book out on the 7th of November, 1985. Sorry, I know I keep gushing and gushing about this stuff, but it just really makes me happy. So that's that. I then have an edition of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I think I've got a feeling I might have an edition of this already. Yup, you do. But I just wanted to pick up this version of it just because I wanted to save it from the bin. If I do have a double up, I'll probably just donate one to a hospice shop or something like that. And you will donate it. Next up we have John Hersey's Hiroshima. I think is how you actually meant to say it, not Hiroshima. Hiroshima. If you know, let me know, please. And it's this gorgeous old penguin edition. You can see all the number system down below. And again, it's just a story that I didn't want to see in the bin. One day I will probably get around to it. It's quite short, so if I ever want to just read some historical stuff, then here one is. Then we have Witty Ihimura's, I think this is also an anthology collection. That's the thing about schools. We often have short story collections because it just caters for people who aren't always avid readers, and reading an entire novel just isn't fun for them or realistic within their time frame. So I picked this one up. It's actually got the like cardboard front and back. It's got some tape. It's so loved. It's so loved. Yeah, it's an anthology, and I am definitely going to read these. I do need to read more Indigenous Māori stories and tales. So here we go. Some student has written HHH on the side, but you know what? That's cool. And then lastly, this is one I just picked up because I genuinely wanted to read it. So this is Judith Kerr's Out of the Hitler Time, 3 Stories, 1 Life. I don't know much about it. I just read the back and it was like a historical World War II story. And I've recently finished reading All the Light We Cannot See. And I've almost finished The Book Thief, and I've surprised myself with how much I like them. I'm not much of a history person myself, but I've slowly come around to enjoying those tales, and it's actually made me, like, it's educated me a lot about what happened, as well as made me want to delve more into historical books, but just not of the European perspective. I do want to read more books from around the world like that, but either way, that's that one. So, ooh, hit the camera, sorry guys. So those are my books for spring. I am seriously going to try restrain myself. I'm filming this on the 7th of November. I'm seriously going to restrain myself, I think, until like New Year's sales. And even then, I don't really buy books from shops anyway. They're just secondhand stores. Wow. That was just like shoppist. Secondhand stores are shops, but I think you know what I mean, like full-on retail, full price kind of places. So that's that. Thank you guys for watching the spring haul part 2 video, and enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures. See you in the next video.